Hello, welcome everyone to Pop Cult X episode 132. With you, as always, are your hosts, Gabriel and Danny, talking about all the things pop culture from a Gen X point of view. Let's go ahead and get into it this week with what's going on. How's it going, Danny?
It's going good. It's going good. I'm excited for the Marvels movie to come out. I didn't mention that earlier when we were chatting, but I'm really excited to see Iman Vellani reprise her role as Miss Marvel. I thought she did a great job in the Disney Plus show. So I'm excited to see what she brings to the movie. I picked up a while back her writing debut. She wrote this comic, Miss Marvel, the New Mutant. So that was fun. And she's a huge comic book fan. So I think that translates well into, she brings it all into her performances. So I'm excited to watch that. And as excited as I am to see that movie, I'm also frustrated that people, especially all the fanboys, right, get their panties in a bunch, so to speak, because it's a women-led movie. Yeah. And so, but I'm excited to watch that. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I think I'm probably going to check that out this weekend. I'm really looking forward to it. Of course, I already looked up the end credit scene to find out what's going to pop up, and I'm really excited to watch it live in person. But yeah, I'm really excited to watch it as well. I feel like it's a good mix of comedy and action, and it's probably going to be just a really fun movie. I am not, it's not like it's Shakespeare. I mean, it's superhero movies, so I don't know what people could be so upset about. And why they get so upset about a movie about three female superheroes. I'm all for it. I think it's going to be fun, and I can't wait to watch it as well.
You said you looked up the end credit scene. So is that like akin to like reading the last page of a book to see how it ends?
Well, first, I always do that because I want to know if there's going to be an end credit scene or a mid credit scene.
Okay.
So that way I stick around for the movie. And then while I'm there, I'm like, I might as well find out what it's about.
Well, I give credit to like Marvel for making people stay during the credits now.
Yeah.
Because now in any movie, you don't know if there'll be something at the end or in the middle. And Marvel really, really changed that, I think. Before I used to work in a movie theater, so everyone would leave as soon as the credits started rolling, right? Yeah. And that was great because we got to get in there faster to clean up the theater before the next show started. But now with Marvel, it's like, man, everyone sits and waits, and which is great, I think, because then people, if you've worked really hard in a movie and you're not above the line type of star or producer or whatever, now you might be able to, people might see your name scrolling up. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure. So I'll be going and I'll be sticking through all the way to the end so I can see this particular end scene. I don't want to spoil it for you, but for me, it's very exciting.
Okay. No, that's fine. Yeah, don't spoil it. No spoilers here yet. We'll wait till the movie, is out for a couple weeks or something.
Yeah, for sure. I went to a concert a few days ago. I went and saw Kim Petras on her feet, the Beast tour. It was a lot of fun. It was for those that aren't familiar with Kim Petras, she actually won a Grammy for her performance on the song "Unholy" with Sam Smith.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay.
She was I think she's the first trans woman to ever win a Grammy. So it's pretty cool. She had some really cool, interesting stage props, I would say. At one point when Unholy came out, the devil came out and she sort of danced along with him, and there was sort of like an evil, then a spooky, then a pop section of the concert. So it took you on like a journey of like these emotions, and it was pretty fun. It was really entertaining. She has a lot of singles that I know. I know she's not probably as popular or mainstream as some other singers, but she's got a lot of good songs. So it was really entertaining. There wasn't really a dull moment. All of her songs were really upbeat. So it was pretty fun. recommend people checking out her older catalog. I think she actually has a new record that just came out. And her single is problematique, I think is the way she says it. And it's pretty fun. Yeah, it's very pop. It's very much within like kind of like a Lady Gaga kind of pop sound, dance, electronic, pop vocals. So it's fun. It was a lot. It was cool to see. And you know, it was a very youthful audience. Let me say.
That's what I was gonna ask. What was the audience like for something like
very
that?
youthful. We were definitely some of the older crowd. It was a lot of young people, but there was a few Gen Xers there that were out to support Kim. But definitely interesting people watching. And it was interesting is that it was on SDSU campus. It was at the open air theater. And, just down the street, Doja Cat was playing. So you saw all the fans of Doja Cat like walking to that venue, and then all the people that were there for Kim, just like we just sort of sat for a minute and like watched people walking by, and there was a lot of like skin tight, like latex, leather, big boots and heels. So it was interesting and fun to people watch for sure.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that made a great viewing experience. I mean, just to see some of the outfits, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, it definitely was not the Smashing Pumpkins concert that I went to.
When you're at a concert like that, and like you said, you saw a couple other Gen Xers, do you like, if you lock eyes with them, do you like just nod at each other or something? Like, yeah,
we actually ran into like a couple of our friends. So
okay.
And we sort of joked about like, oh, well, we're not like the oldest people here by ourselves anymore. So it was fun running into some friends. A lot of people on like Instagram that the mutuals that I have were at the same concert. So it was fun, like seeing the pictures that everyone was posting and like seeing where they were seating and all the different views and stuff like that. So we ran into quite a few people that were there as well. So it wasn't quite all, you know, young crowd, but majority of it was a pretty young crowd.
That's cool. That's cool. Sounds like you had a good time, so that's good.
Yeah, it was really good.
So I watched a few movies over this past week since our last episode, and they were really cool. I mean, I'm not sure if you've seen them. One of them was The Haunting in Venice.
Yeah, I have seen that one.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, it's Kenneth Branagh's latest adaptation of the Agatha Christie book. Yeah. And I really liked it. I thought it was really well done. It was a little bit of a departure from his previous two movies, The Death on the Nile and Murder on the Orient Express. Yeah. But it kept me intrigued more than the other two. So I really liked it.
Were you able to guess the ending?
Oh, I know I didn't really see how. No, I didn't guess that was where it was going. I should have figured it, but I didn't. But he did a great job portraying Hercule Poirot. And I like the fact that his mustache didn't really take center stage. Yeah. So I thought it was really well done.
Yeah, the acting was great. Michelle Yeoh is she was really great in it. It was nice to see Tina Fey in the film. We don't really get to see a lot of Tina Fey movies, and she was really good as sort of the wisecracking author that is friends of Poirot. And then obviously Kenneth Branagh does a great job as the lead actor. But so I really enjoyed it as well. It was kind of cool to have more of like a spooky horror vibe versus some of the other films that they've done. But it was really cool. It was really entertaining. Whodunits are like sort of fun to watch to try to figure out if you can figure out, you know, who is what and, you know, who did what. So it's really entertaining. I love this series. I think that they're really well made. They great actors to do cameos in it. And hopefully they do more because I definitely would like to see more. It kind of reminds me of the Glass Onion series that they do. It's like more modern, but definitely fun to kind of have those like mysteries. We don't really get a lot of mysteries in films as much, I think, as we did in the past. So it'd be kind of a cool trend to see is more mystery thrillers where you can try to figure out the plot before it unravels before your eyes.
I wonder if that's because like the replay value is not as high. I mean, you've seen it once, you know how it ends, you know what happened, so you don't really need to watch it again, right? Or do you watch it again?
I don't know. The Sixth Sense, it had like a pretty surprise ending, and
Yeah.
rewatching that one, that's like it's such a great movie that even though I know that what the surprise ending is, I still like watching it.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I guess a second watch through is always merited because now that you know the ending, you can look for what you might have missed the first time around. And you're like, oh, okay, that makes sense or whatnot. Yeah, that's true.
So, what else did you check out this week?
I checked out two other movies. One was Charlie Day's newest film, written and directed by him. I think it was his first time directing a feature film, and it's called Fool's Paradise. I think it just came out in Hulu this week, actually.
Right.
It's had a slew of well, not high named, well named actors and actresses in it with Ken Jeong, Jason Sudeikis, Adrian Brody, Kate Beckinsale. Who else? There was a lot of like well known actors in the film,
Oh wow.
and Charlie Day, of course. And it was good. I mean, I enjoyed it. I made the mistake of looking it up and reading some reviews on it, but I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a good take on the Hollywood machine and how it just churns people in, spits them out, moves on, and doesn't care about, you know, the individual. But I thought it was really well done. I liked it.
Is it a comedy or?
Yeah, it's a comedy. It's a comedy. So basically Charlie Day plays, first off, he plays like this actor who, well-known actor, something happens to him, but he also plays like a mirror image of that actor who they bring in to fill in his spot to complete a film. And then he accidentally becomes a star. But the person that he's portraying to fill in is kind of has like some mental block where he's not able to speak. But he's not that he's mute, he's not that he's deaf, he's just something, trauma has made him regress. So he just like has like the mind of like a 5-year-old in a way. So he just like follows people. He's very easily led to just coerced into doing things. So he really follows the crowd, and it's just he ends up in different, you know, situations that were like, okay, so I guess if you just go with the flow, things might happen good for you. But then on the flip side of that, it's the film industry just, you know, bringing them in, using them, and spitting them out and moving on. So I liked it. I thought it was good.
Nice. I'll have to check it out.
Yes, do that. And there's another movie on Netflix I watched called The Machine. I think it came out last year, but it stars Bert Kirschner, the comedian who like takes his shirt off during his act or whatever, and also Mark Hamill, you know, who plays his father. And I thought I enjoyed it. It was a lot bloodier than I thought it was going to be because it deals with like the Russian mafia and stuff. And I guess that's like part of his. I don't know if I haven't watched any of his comedy, so I don't know if he tells that story in his comedy. But the whole movie is taken from like his comedy bits, which I'm seeing as a trend here because I know like Bill Burr also did a movie that seemed like it was really based on like his comedy, stand-up comedy, and that's called Old Dads. And then I think there was one other one. I think Pete Davidson has his whole show that's based on his life, right? Bupkis. So I see a trend of like stand-up comedians taking their material that they use on stage and turning them into movies, which is interesting. And I think it's kind of cool for them to like take what they've been talking about, you know, their sets, and just using that for a film or series.
Yeah. I think that's a natural transition for comedians to like use their material to then translate into a film or television show. Like we've seen like Seinfeld or
that's true. Yeah.
So or George Lopez. So I tend to like it. I like to see comedians sort of branch out into acting and see what they can do. And what's weird is that a lot of times they turn out to be like really good serious actors. Like sometimes like Billy Crystal or Robin Williams. They kind of turn out to be these really great actors, and you can see like the other side of them outside of just comedy. So I'd be curious if any of those comedians will branch out into those other arenas.
That's true. Yeah, I didn't think about that, but I guess it's just I'm living in the now and just seeing what I noticed recently.
It's cool that you mentioned that Mark Hamill's in it because we don't see him in a lot of stuff. I don't feel like
You're
he
right.
kind of is very choosy with the roles that he brings, but I feel like it part of that is like the curse of being a Star Wars like icon
Hmm. Hmm.
that people can't see past him being Luke Skywalker in a way.
And
Right?
that yeah, that is true because when I was watching it and I was like, wow, that's just like an older Luke Skywalker and because from like the movies The Last Jedi and he was crotchety old Luke Skywalker and it kind of like bled into that the way he performed, but that
Yeah,
maybe that's just me and that's just how I what I see of him, right?
yeah.
And like maybe I couldn't look past that, but I enjoyed his performance. I thought it was fun seeing him as the wisecracking, angry older father or whatnot. He did a great job.
Nice. Yeah, he does a lot of voice work that I think
Yeah, that's true.
he's able to escape people viewing him in a certain way because it's just his voice and he's able to transform it. I think most famously he does the voice of the Joker and
Hmm.
like a lot of Batman animated series. So
Hmm.
that's pretty cool that he's able to have done that.
Yes, I remember he does that voice. So for you, when you think of Mark Hamill, you think of I'm assuming the Joker, right? Where I think of him as Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, I'm not a big Star Wars fan, so like I don't necessarily think of him as like, oh, that's Luke Skywalker, and I look up to him, or like I think of him as like this icon or anything like that. So, but I do associate him most with obviously with Star Wars and Luke
Okay,
Skywalker. Um,
good
it,
answer.
yeah, yeah. I mean, there's certain actors that I think it's hard for them to escape that certain roles, um,
Hmm.
and they're sort of typecast into playing that role over and over again, or
That's
they
true.
just
Hmm.
kind of drift off into oblivion because people can't see them in any other way.
Yeah,
Uh, but like someone that comes into mind is like Robert De Niro. Like I think plays a lot of the same character, like the mafia, like
yeah,
Goodfellas type, Godfather roles, especially with Martin Scorsese films. Um, and then there's just certain people that like when you think of them, you think of their iconic role. Like I think of like Courtney Cox and Jennifer Aniston, like they're for the Friends. Like they're I think of them
mm-hmm.
as like the stars of Friends, or like Matt LeBlanc and um Lisa Kudrow, where like they haven't really been able to like segue into a lot of other stuff just because I think people think of them as like that role.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't
Well,
know. Is there anyone else that you can think of that has had a
let's.
role that it's like hard for them to escape from?
um, I think there's a few I can't. That's hard to escape from. That's a hard one. But let's transition this. Hold on, before we get any further, let's play a little game with this because
All
I'm
right.
curious to see. So if I bring up a list of like actors and actresses to see if we pick the same role that they're known for,
All
and
right.
if that's if what like and out there you guys can play along too, and leave your what these actors or actresses for in the comments and see if they match up with what we think. So let me get a list real quick and we can just go through and just say, I'll say a name and just you say which role or show or film you know them for, and
All
then
right.
we'll see if our answers are somewhat similar.
Okay.
Okay, so let's see. I got a list here. Wow. So here's a icon classic one. Tom Hanks.
Forrest Gump.
Yes, me too. Forrest Gump. That's like the first one that comes to mind. He's done so many different roles, but I
Yeah.
don't know why that just sticks out the most to me.
I think it's like my favorite film of his. So that's why like I always go back to it. And I've seen it and watched it so many times that that's just for me, Tom Hanks is Forrest Gump.
Yeah, I agree. What about Brendan Fraser?
Oh, that's a good one. I would say The Mummy.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I when I picture Brendan Fraser, that's where I see him. I think it was his name Rick O'Connell. That's his role that he played there 3 films. I think maybe a fourth one soon. Who knows?
Yeah, he had a pretty cool cameo in Killing of the what not flower. What
Flower
is it?
Moon.
Flower,
Yeah,
or,
Killing of the Flower Moon. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, he had a pretty good cameo.
Let's see here. Ooh, here's a good one. Michael Keaton.
Batman.
Ooh, I was gonna say Beetlejuice.
Yeah, I when I said Batman, I'm slash Beetlejuice. That one's like a really close call for me because I like both of those roles so much for him, but
Mhm.
I like the character of Batman so much, and he's like one of my favorite Batman
Yeah,
actors.
I hear you.
Yeah, but that's a
Uh, how about this was gonna be an interesting one. Sandra Bullock.
I would say Sandra Bullock. Wow, that's what is miscongeniality.
Yeah, yeah. When I think of her, that's where my mind goes to as well as Miss Congeniality. It was such a great film.
Yeah,
Never saw part two, but the first one was good enough.
yeah. First one is great.
Let's see here. Oh, you just mentioned this actress. So Michelle Yao, when you think of her, what do you think of first?
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Interesting. Oh, that's right. She was in that. That was a good film. I always think of Everything Everywhere All at Once, of course, because it's just so iconic now, I think, for us.
Yeah, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon has to be like one of my favorite films. It's
Oh,
just so
okay.
beautifully shot, and like the
Yeah.
choreography of like the martial arts is like out of this world, and
Hmm.
the language, the I like watching it in Chinese. The language, uh, the visuals. It's just a really great movie.
It is. And I think of what was the other one that was similar? House of the Flying Daggers.
Yeah,
That was such a beautiful movie as well. And the cinematography in both those films is just amazing.
yeah.
Let's see, back to my list. Oh, Meryl Streep.
Death Becomes Her.
Yes. Yeah. That's such a great film.
Yeah,
Well, you can go, let's talk about Death Becomes Her. So Bruce Willis, what role do you think of him?
Die Hard.
Yeah, Die Hard, definitely. Or what was it other film I saw of him? No, Die Hard has to be Die Hard.
Yeah, Die Hard,
And
The Sixth Sense, maybe.
yeah, no, I think Die Hard is more.
Yeah.
And what about Nicole Kidman?
Oh, Nicole Kidman. Um, that's a hard one. Trying to think of the films that she's been in. She's been in so many good films.
Yeah.
Uh, what's the one where her and Sandra Bullock are in it? That one's fun. Uh, where they play
Hmm.
sisters and they're both witches.
Oh, is it Practical Magic?
Practical Magic, yeah.
Yeah. Hmm. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what movie I think of her when I think of Nicole Kidman. Like you said, she's been in so many.
Yeah,
Like I guess Moulin Rouge
yeah. That's a good one.
is like the first one that comes to mind. Um.
So
Okay. Couple.
I have an
Oh,
easy one for you. Julia Roberts.
oh, Pretty Woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
That.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh goodness. Uh, I have it has to be Titanic.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. What about Jim Carrey?
Uh,
He's had some iconic roles.
I would say probably Ace Ventura.
Ooh, good one. Yeah, I like
Yeah.
that one. Although for me, I think whenever I think of Jim Carrey and just because I love the movie, I think Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Yeah. That's a really great movie, but I think that if you were to do a poll of people, they
Of
think
course, of course, of course.
his comedy or like his comedic performances, but that's a great movie. That really is like an excellent movie.
Yeah, and see, this is the thing with this. It's like I guess it's all subjective who you think is of a person with a role. But yeah, if you poll enough people, it's going to be one of his comedies: Ace Ventura, Dumb and Dumber,
Yeah.
and yeah, definitely, or even The Grinch. I think is a a standout movie for him. And I don't know if anyone else could have played that role, the Grinch, besides Jim Carrey.
Yeah. Maybe Mike Myers.
Yeah, I can see that because he did like Cat in the Hat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, with Mike Myers, what do you think of associate him with most?
Probably Wayne's World.
Yeah, Wayne's World, Austin Powers are like neck and neck for me there.
My favorite film of his though is probably So I Married an Axe Murderer.
Pete, paper now. Yeah, that movie's funny.
That's probably my favorite Mike Myers film.
Okay, so here's a couple last ones for you. And it's going to be maybe a little bit of not a stretch, but just let's see. Gal Gadot. Or is it Godot? Wonder Woman, yeah. Jenna Ortega.
Wednesday.
Okay. Yeah, probably for me as well. Although she's done a couple films. I mean, she doesn't have as much. She's not as experienced, but yeah. Margot Robbie.
Harley Quinn.
Yeah. Is that what I think?
Suicide Squad, Harley Quinn, Birds of Prey.
Yeah, I agree. That's when I think of her, that's who I picture.
Have you seen Barbie yet?
Yeah, I saw Barbie.
Yeah.
She was great in that. I mean, I like it. I think Ryan Gosling's a very underrated actor.
Yeah.
He is so good in that. I always picture when I think of like Ryan Gosling and like remakes, like I want them to do like an updated version of like Guys and Dolls with like Ryan Gosling as one of the leads.
Nice.
And I also want him to be as like the version of Hawkeye from the comic books. Although, you know, Jeremy Renner did great, but there's also a version of Hawkeye where he's like the single, you know, and like he's been with like Black Widow, he's been with like all these other Avengers, and I think he would play that role perfectly.
Yeah. When you say been with, do you mean like partnered with?
Yeah, relationship with.
Oh, okay.
Been with, yeah.
So I was like, been with a lot of the Avengers.
Well, yeah. Yeah, it could go a lot of different ways. Yes, I understand. Oh man, let's see. Who else can? Oh, here's one. Okay, I'll end with this one because she's iconic, and she has lots of different roles. But when you think of Jamie Lee Curtis, what's the first one that comes into mind?
Ooh, that one's good. I would have to say Halloween. The original.
Yeah, I mean, that is where a lot of people will go because, you know, that she built that franchise, right? She put it on her back. But for me, when I think of Jamie Lee Curtis, the first movie I think of is True Lies and her role in that.
Yeah, that was a good one too. But I just think that of like her most iconic roles, like I think that's what she'll always be remembered as.
That's true. Yeah, I agree.
But True Lies is a good one.
I'm looking at this list and there's like so many different actresses and actors that I actually saw stuff with them recently. Like I watched Sandra Oh and Awkwafina have a new movie with Will Ferrell, and it's called Quiz Lady. I'm not sure if you've seen that.
I haven't.
It's really funny. So Sandra Oh and Awkwafina play sisters, you know, and they have to like cover their mom's gambling debt or something.
Oh, nice.
But the roles are kind of reversed of what you'd expect from their character types. So Awkwafina plays more of the straight-laced person, and Sandra Oh plays the more of the wacky comic relief.
Oh, nice.
So it was really cool to see those role reversals. Speaking of roles and what they're known for, right? So it's worth a watch. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, I'll have to see it.
So yeah, that's about what I've been up to. Any comic book shopping for you recently?
I didn't make it out this week. I'll probably go today. Check out some stuff. Did you pick anything up?
I got the latest Birds of Prey by Kelly Thompson and the latest Blue Beetle.
Oh, nice.
number 3. And I also picked up this one a while back. Was it last week maybe? Just because I thought it was really cool. It's the Marvel Zombies.
Yeah.
I thought that was really fun. I was like seeing the black, white, and blood versions of stuff because, I like the red, black, and white color scheme.
Is that written by a former guest of ours? Because I feel like we interviewed someone who did Marvel Zombies.
We did interview someone before, but I think it was Fred Van Lente who did that. But I think in this book, the reason I picked it up is because Alex Segura has a story in there.
Oh, nice.
So I haven't read it yet, but that's the reason I saw his name on it. I was like, oh, I know that name.
Yeah. Very cool.
All right. Cool.
I'll be in the comic book store today.
So if you're in the comic book store, look for Gabe. All right. Very cool. So out there, everyone, like I said, if you agree with our picks or if you have any other, actors, actresses, roles that like really stand out for you, let us know. Drop it in the comments. And I guess that's it. And we'll see you guys next time.
Stay safe, everyone.